I'm gonna, let's just deal with the white wires, okay? Well, I'm gonna look at the white wires, and I know they come in on the left-hand side, and I'm gonna plug 2 of those in to the outlet, okay, the receptacle. But I got 3 wires, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a pigtail, and I'm gonna take 2 of these wires. Let's see, I'm gonna use the longest one by itself, I think. And I'm gonna take, because see, that can be to hook up the receptacle. Then I'm gonna take the 2, and I have to kind of look and see how those wires are gonna fold up later. Okay, I'm gonna actually use that one. Okay, that way I can push it back. So I'm gonna use these 2 here, and I'm gonna make a pigtail. I'm gonna connect these 2 together. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these off just a smidge, not much. Okay, and I've got a little pigtail piece here. I did some work downstairs, and I needed a black. And so I had an extra white and the extra ground little scraps. So I'm going to use this as my pigtail. Okay, I'm going to put these 3 wires underneath a wire nut. Okay, and I'm going to use a yellow wire nut, because again, this is 14 gauge wire. It's a little bit smaller than 12 gauge wire. If this was 12 gauge wire, I might have a hard time getting 3 of those under a yellow. I might have to use a red. But, and see the difference? So much bigger the red is than the yellow. Look at that. I'm trying to do the yellows so that I can push them back in the back of the box and have enough room to still put this receptacle in there without hitting the wire nuts and all that. That's why I didn't use an extra wire nut for those ground wires. I just used the crimpers. We got all that ground is no issues with that. That's never gonna come apart, right? Okay, hold those 3 together. Hold your mouth just right. Twizzle that on. Hang on to these up here. And this wire nut happens to have little thumb tabs on it. Some I bought didn't have those. I thought, dabbity nabbit. And see, I had some white ones too, some off-white ones, and that's kind of in between a yellow and a red. But usually you don't see those in bags. I don't know where I got those. But yellow fit on there just fine, didn't it? Okay. So now I got to get that in the box, and I want the white off to the side. That's why I made sure I rearranged the wires, get the black wires up out of my way, and all that. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this and bend it, and then I'm gonna bend it again and fold it up into the back of the box. That should have plenty of room. I'm trying to keep my fingers off the wall, even though that I wash my hands first. When you start working with wires, after a while, you have a tendency of they just get black again from the wire and stuff. Okay, so now I got my 2 white wires coming out of here. Okay, I got one down here, and I've got one up like that. Okay, that's for my side of the receptacle, and I can cut these about the same length. I might have to cut those even shorter. Actually, I don't think I will. See, the ground wire should have actually stuck out further, you know, but it's not. Okay, now I have to do that with the black wires, and I don't care which wire I connect and connect the two together. I can have these two connected together, or I can have these two, or I can have those two, making a little pigtail. I might be able to take my my plug and slide it to the right a little bit, making sure I cover both sides. So I may have to adjust that ever so slightly. Okay. And if it doesn't cover, you can get a mid-size cover that's just a hair bigger, or you can get a jumbo. If I had a mid-size, it would cover just fine if I had a question, if it bothered me, or what have you. Okay. So holding that in there, it looks good. Now I'm ready to put it in. I am ready, Freddy. It should go in fine. And if I had a power drill right now, I could use it and take this in about 7/8 of the way, because I know I've already pre-checked it, right? And then I would do the last little bit by hand. That's what I would do. But I left it, it's under the house. It's still under the house. Oh, come on. There we go. I almost wish I had it now. My drill. If I was putting in 50 of these in a house, I'd have my drill out. I don't do this. I don't do this every day. Okay? And you don't have to either. Just keep watching these videos and you'll know how it's done, son. Okay? I'm gonna cheat it to the right, just a hair. See how I got that in there nice. Now the cover plate will cover this box edge and everything. I'm going to match this bottom, because when I lined up the cut-in box, you can adjust that in the wall too. Okay? So if I needed to adjust this more or something like, or if the box was crooked, maybe it's because you didn't get the box in there nice and straight, or the stud was kind of crooked, or whatever. You could loosen up the two screws for the cut-in box, loosen them up, jockey that around where you want to try to get it a little bit straighter, re-tighten up the screws, and make your other adjustment here. And so you've got 4 adjustments on this cut-in box. Okay, now put that in there. I'm gonna look at that. That looks pretty good. That looks very good. If anything, I might have screwed it in just a hair too much. Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna look at this again. Nope. No, I'm gonna have to screw that in more. I thought I had it all the way in, but maybe I didn't initially. Okay, I've got that tight. I've got everything tight. It almost seems like it's hitting that bottom screw, the backside of the bottom screw, just ever so slightly, preventing this to push up any further. And I think I might have something to fix that. I'm gonna try. I've got some 1-inch drywall coarse threaded screws, and you can use those for plugs. And I want to try that on this bottom one. The top seems to be fine. Okay, we'll just see what happens. I've used the coarse drywall thread sheetrock screws to put these in before. Like if you're missing a screw, or let's say your screw is slightly loose, try putting a sheetrock screw in there, coarse threaded, and see what happens. Sometimes it works. Okay, we're gonna put that in and try it and see, because it's a flat head. It's got kind of a flat head on it. Okay, that goes in a little bit more. This sticks out just a hair more than that. Let's see how that works. Oh, that's way better. Oh, it's a little, it's okay, that's good. That's really good. It fits nice. Okay. And I'm looking at that. Sure enough, it's covered that because I slid it over a little bit. This line is still fine. I'm leaving it right there. That's where I'm leaving it. If I needed to adjust it, I'd pull this off, undo the screws, slide it around, back and forth. These two screws look clean. If I had one that had a mark on it, I'd put that at the bottom, let's say, so you couldn't see it up at the top. You know, and these screws, just make them snug. And you know, some people think, oh, I got to have it straight up and down, and then they go a little bit further and they crack this cover or something, or they go straight up and down, and maybe your cover plate is slightly loose now because it should have been slightly tighter. So I try not to mess with the screws any more than I have to, because I've cracked these before. Yeah, it's easy to do. Well, there you go. That's the project. Nice.